The world is at a boiling point. From the unending Russia-Ukraine war to the multiple conflicts raging in West Asia to the increasing worries of a potential Chinese invasion of Taiwan. Now the cross-border attacks between Iran and Pakistan have threatened to open a whole new front of war. They say that when a war breaks out, almost no one goes unaffected. Today, in the Gulf of Aden, the Indian Navy came to the rescue of a cargo vessel under attack. This is how things unfolded. At around midnight, INS Visakhapatnam, deployed in the region for anti-piracy operations, received a distress call from a ship. The SOS call came from a US-owned vessel called MV Genco Picardy. The vessel, with a crew of 22 on board, including 9 Indians, faced a drone attack late on Wednesday night. The ship was just 60 nautical miles south of Port Aden when it came under attack. The Indian Navy swiftly responded, rushing to rescue the vessel. The Indian Navy's bomb experts boarded the ship to inspect the damaged area. They did a thorough inspection and rendered the area safe for further transit. There has been a marked increase in threats to the safety of maritime traffic in a very important part. They have a direct bearing on India's economic interests. And so, as a result, India has deployed warships to the Arabian Sea to maintain a deterrent presence. Today's rescue operation by India comes amid growing concerns over the Houthis stepping up the attacks in the Red Sea. The Indian Navy chief has issued instructions to firmly deal with such maritime incidents. Last month, the Liberian-flagged vessel, which had 21 Indian crew members on board, was also the target of a drone attack off India's west coast. Another commercial oil tanker that was on the way to India came under a suspected drone strike. It happened in the southern Red Sea on the same day. This ship had a team of 25 Indian crew. MV Genco Picardy was transiting through the Gulf of Aden, carrying a cargo of phosphate rock. The shipping company said that there were no injuries to the crew on board, but the vessel itself suffered limited damage to its gangway. And hours later, the US military said its forces conducted strikes on 14 Houthi missiles that presented an imminent threat to merchant vessels and US Navy ships in the region. On Wednesday, the Houthis said that their missiles made a direct hit on the US Genco Picardy. The Yemen-based Houthi rebels have attacked ships crossing the Red Sea, leading to disruptions in commercial shipping trade routes. They do this in solidarity with the Palestinians, who have come under relentless attack from the Israeli forces. Earlier, they vowed to only attack Israeli ships, but recently they have threatened to expand their attacks to include American ships in response to American and British strikes on their positions. It came on the day Washington returned the Houthis to its list of terror groups. US officials said that the move was aimed at cutting off funding and weapons that Houthis have used to attack as well as hijack ships. Houthi attacks target a route that accounts for about 15% of the world's shipping traffic. It acts as a vital conduit between Europe and Asia. And in response to these attacks, shipping companies have rerouted their ships. The alternative shipping route around South Africa's Cape of Good Hope adds 10 to 14 days to the journey. That is a very costly undertaking. In Europe, big shipping lanes have instructed hundreds of its commercial vessels to stay clear of the Red Sea. While some ships have been ordered to take the long route around Africa, others have paused shipping altogether until safety is restored. And just add to this the weather-related closures and stoppages in Europe, and you get port congestions and delays. You see, the Red Sea maritime crisis is not limited to the Red Sea. It has a ripple effect throughout the business world. Banking executives are worried that the crisis will reignite inflationary pressures. Even war-hit Ukraine is affected. Kiev says that the Red Sea situation had led to a slowdown in its agricultural exports this month. Meanwhile, Italian ports are concerned that they are being bypassed as ships steer away from the Mediterranean route, and as a result, freight rates have more than doubled since early December. Marine insurance rates for war risks have also tripled. According to Reuters, war risk premiums had risen to around 1% of the value of a ship, and the rates, by the way, are expected to move higher. This means hundreds of thousands of dollars of additional costs for a 7-day voyage. Ship owners are wondering, what is cheaper? Paying additional insurance so that the ship can pass the Suez Canal, or take the longer route around Africa and rack up more fuel bills? And that is the cost of war. And as far as India is concerned, the crisis is unfolding in its vicinity. So New Delhi is alert, of course. It's monitoring the situation very closely. Apart from providing protective escorts to the ships, the Indian Navy has responded to the attacks and hijacking attempts in the Arabian Sea. The Indian Navy has also enhanced the deployment of 4 warships and surveillance aircraft in order to ensure maritime security. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.